Hello. How's it going, everyone? Good to see ya. I was just playing around making everything a bit bigger so I can actually see. It was my birthday this week, so you know how that goes. With every year I get older now, I need the text a little bit bigger, especially when it's far away. Good to see so many awesome peoples here. And I was playing around with the computer through the week, so we might have some things that need refreshing and stuff like that, but we'll get there. Craig's Catfish Calamitous Cave, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. Leo209, g'day to you. Mark Stelson, how are you, mate? Good to see you. GV, how's lovely Mildura today? Hopefully that's right. I think it is. Good to see, good to see. Chevy, how you going, mate? Long time no see. Chevy Birkinshaw. Paul's got some snaggers on the Weber. Awesome, Paul. Enjoy. Pete Belinsky, the Aquarium Plant Man. What's up to you? What's up to you? How are you going, mate? Collaboration. Hey, Adele. How are ya? The countdown is longer than the one they used for the space shuttle. Yeah, well, I needed all 5/7 minutes of that. Thanks, Craig. Jackie Pierce. My family said this music is getting annoying. Oh well, you know. That's a shame for them. Matt Braun, how are you? Yeah, you're not wrong. Although that's a fairly good innings. What did I get for my birthday? Oh, very topical, Pete. I got a Ninja Creamy. If you're familiar with Ninja Creamy, it's like a ice cream maker. You get a little pint, 500ml cups, and you make all sorts of ice cream. So I'm a massive dessert person. You can probably tell by my chubby cheeks. But since I'm at the gym and stuff now, I want to make like basically a protein shake, turn it into ice cream, and then trick myself that I'm having dessert. And hopefully that will work. But it seems to have worked so far. And yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. The kids probably like it more than me. So I have to make like one actual ice cream and then one like protein almond milk ice cream so that they can get involved too. But yeah, we're all having a good time. Fish Fam Link, how are ya? Good to see ya. And yeah, so that's what's been going on this week. What else did I get? I got a voucher to Uncle Dan's, the beer shop. I already had a present of a getaway at Easter to Melbourne, so got that. My kids bought me a Beyblade, so we can have Beyblade battles. That was nice. But you know, we went out for dinner and stuff, and I'm going to see a movie this weekend, so yeah. Actually, I've been trying for ages. I'm a big old fan of John Wick and Keanu Reeves as a whole, I guess. But I've been trying to see John Wick 4, and then on my actual birthday, which was Monday, the kids were in school and Harry was in daycare, and I was like, oh, I might be able to sneak in for a daytime showing of John Wick 4, except it was only like late night showings that night, so it didn't end up happening. Try Greg Dissette recipe for ice cream protein. Alright, thanks, I'll check it out. Blue Water Crayons. Mainly I've just been seeing a whole bunch of Ninja Creamy stuff on TikTok. Like my entire TikTok feed, I'll probably reveal way too much about myself here, but my TikTok feed is like Ninja Creamy recipe, scroll up, then it'll be like somebody cleaning the hoofs of a cow. It's really interesting to watch if you've never seen that, and like the weirdness. And I'll scroll up from that, and there'll be like a Dr. Pimple Popper kind of thing, and I'll scroll up from that. And what else is there? Yeah, my TikTok feed's a bit weird at the moment, but yeah, there's lots of Ninja Creamy inspo in there. And yeah, I made this one. So my actual protein powder is banana flavor from Optimum Nutrition, and I made, so it's had banana protein powder, almond milk, and then I got 3 Oreos, and it can like pulverize them in like a McFlurry, and it was so good. Probably didn't need the Oreos, but anyway. You gotta live it a little sometime, don't you? Shady Grady, thank you very much. Noogie, how are you, mate? Country Aquatics, howdy partner, how you going? Nate the hoof guy is also. Oh yeah, there's another one. It's like, hoof doctor. Oh, it's insane. Very chilly in Tari tonight. Well, it's very chilly here. My poor little oil heater can barely keep up, but it's only for a few weeks of the year that it really struggles. It's still probably like 20, 21 in here, which is okay. Yeah, the hoof vids can get addictive. The other ones that it can get addictive, that like it's a bit animal cruelty-ish, I guess, but it's also just like instinct that I find fascinating, is the rat terriers, like the guys who have like 15 terriers and then they go to farms, lift up like a shed, and then like 50 rats come out and the terriers just go nuts, and they're just crazy on the reflexes. But I mean, it's not the rat's fault, I guess, but yeah. You actually trim cattle feet for a living. Oh, you must see some crazy stuff. I see like there'll be like the tiniest of holes, and then there'll be like a screw in there or a piece of gravel or something like that, and it's just crazy. Yeah, I've spoken about it nearby to my phone now, so I'm sure it'll come up. Same, we got the bar heater on, it's 21 as well. Yeah, well, it's actually set to 28, but it only gets up to about 21. At the moment, and then like as it gets closer and closer to summer, I'll turn it down, and then eventually just turn it off. What else has been going on? Been going on for you? Robert Salmon, how you going, mate? Good to see you. Tim RCC, what's happening? What's my favourite native? Have you still got your honey blue eyes? No, I don't have the honey blue eyes, unfortunately. Realistically, they only live for a couple of years, and what was it? 2021 and 2, there were such cold summers down here. I live in Geelong, so way down in Victoria, and it was freezing summers, so the fish actually, like, the fish were fine, but they just didn't breed. So pretty much if you have 2 cold seasons, your colony's gone, because there's no breeding, and the adults just live out their life. So I'll get back on that train soon. My favourite native, though, I quite like gudgeons. Snakehead gudgeons are pretty cool. I like real big gudgeons at the moment. Empire gudgeons are cool as well. I'll probably get a sleepy cod one day. But there's so many. It's like, where do you stop, you know? Favourite native. Honey blue eyes cool. Neon blue eyes are cool, except they're from Papua New Guinea. So you'd have to go like spotted blue eyes. They're cool as well. They're all cool. I don't know if I necessarily have a favourite. I like spotted Galaxias as well, but I think they're illegal to keep. They look really cool, like trout. That's why trout keep eating them though. White line defects. What's going on here? Oh yeah. Hoof chat. They don't miss any, do they? Them dogs. They're so fast. Yeah, they're insane. How am I settling into the fish room? Fish room's going alright. I did, after the stream, so this is kind of like a thing. So after I live stream, I'm like, I don't know, it sounds weird to say adrenaline, but I'm all hyped up every time after I live stream. So like last week, I water changed the whole fish room after the stream. So I'm hoping these weekly streams will really help to sort of bring back some of the regularity, because some of the times there since we had Harry, like, I'm not going to lie, there was probably like 6-8 weeks between water changes sometimes. Wasn't really a big deal or anything, but I think everything seems to behave and act a lot better when it's weekly, fortnightly, and regular. So, yeah, I probably won't water change everything today, but maybe next week I'll make it my routine. Thursday nights. Yeah, seems to be a good one. I got a whole bunch of stuff down at my feet here from Temu. I ordered from them again because I think it will be a cool video. But what do you guys reckon? Like, I think it was only one video ago that I did the Temu unboxing, and this one, like, remember when I used to do those old videos from like Bunnings, finding aquarium stuff at Bunnings and finding aquarium stuff at Spotlight? Well, I always get comments from those videos still to this day saying this is really cool, bring it back, do this stuff again. So I thought, well, I could do like non-aquarium stuff from Temu, and that way also in the comments of the previous video people were like, how do you rate the quality, how do you rate the delivery? And I was like, well, I've only ordered from them once realistically, so at least that can sort of tick both boxes. Anyway, the long-winded question was, do you reckon I should do it like straight away, or should I chuck a few top 10s, or chuck a few X fish for an X gallon, or chuck a few like videos like that in between? Let me know what you think. And if there are any topical ones you want me to do, then sing out. I'll probably do it. Would you recommend getting a 3D printer as a side tool for printing simple aquarium accessories? Loving the content from Canberra, the nation's capital. Smooth dynamics, yeah. If you're a tinkerer, if you're a bit techie, a bit of a computer whiz, that kind of character, 3D printers are awesome. And you'll just find that like that little thing will break and you can just print yourself a new one, or you just bored one day and you want to print yourself a little figurine to paint, or you want to just, like for me, when I got since I was on leave staying at home dad, I got a 7-seat car, and I have a big drink bottle and it wouldn't fit in the cup holder. So then like I just go out with my little calipers, measure up the cup holder, and then I just printed, you know, a bigger cup holder that fit. So stuff like that you find all the time, like print yourself a little drainage thing to sit your soap on, or print yourself some coasters, whatever. It's just, if you're that way inclined, it's cool. And I like it as a hobby because it's very hands off. Like, it's not like, I guess fish keeping's pretty hands off too, but it's one of those ones where you can like get in the zone for a couple of hours, tweak your printer, set up a print, go away, come back like 3 days later and be like, oh yeah, I printed that thing. And then, you know, it's not so involved. Bunnings realized, I don't think they actually do, Craig. They've had like their marketplace kind of set up for a while at Bunnings. So online, those are actually resellers. So it's like when people set up Shopify websites and sell like Alibaba stuff. It's the same kind of thing with Bunnings. So you're not getting a product from a Bunnings, you're getting a product from a wholesaler who's selling through Bunnings' marketplace plugin, basically. So be careful with that stuff, because I don't think there's many assurances on what you're going to get. Is Temu any good? Yeah, I love it. Probably not allowed to tell you, but yeah, everything that I got was super good again. And yeah, one of the things that I got, they sent me an email and they're like, if your viewers get it as well, they can have 90% off of it. So it's pretty cool. Craig, bring out your dad. How you going, mate? Stefan, good morning from the Netherlands. Do you have any good tips for a pond that's too cold? Put Japanese rice fish in it. If you can bury it in the ground, that will help. If not, get another large tub. Say like if your pond is yay big. How can I explain this? Okay, here we go. We've got some Wabikusa mist here. If your pond is like this, then get a larger tub like this one I'm using for salt. Put it in the tub. Fill the tub with dirt, whatever the cheapest dirt you can get is, and then it will be insulated. And then if you want to insulate it even more, buy some I've got props today. Buy some, get water all over your keyboard. Buy some greenhouse panel such as this, sit it on the top, and the sunlight will go through there, heat it up during the day. trap the heat in, and you won't have the sort of evaporative cooling from the wind. Double heating for freezies. Let me know what your thoughts about that one are. Print some box filters. They're getting hard to find. Yeah, but I don't think you wouldn't be able to see into them, so I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know. I'm happy to print whatever. The Etsy store is getting quite a good run still on the breeder boxes and the sort of caves that go in your substrate at the front of the glass. People seem to really like those. So I am on the lookout for new stuff, and those two have been a real hit. So maybe box filters is the next thing. I shouldn't dismiss it that easily. Do you sell the Flex? What part of the Flex? Did you sell the Flex? No. There. It's hidden. It's hidden behind my big buff head. The Flex is there. The little Flex is no longer there, but I haven't sold that either. It's just packed up on the floor. I needed to move the Flex to put this big 80 centimeter job here. Bubble wrap. Sure. Thanks for all the info. No problem. No, that's the job. That's what I'm here for. Without questions, I don't have much to talk about. Raybird, how you going? I use my 3D printer to make pleco caves and epistic caves. They work well. Yeah, I've definitely done both of those too. But yeah, it's one of those things where also with the 3D printer, like some things are worth printing for yourself, but it's not something that you would really print and sell. Like I can print myself a super deluxe pleco cave, for example, but it might be, you know, an 8-hour print and use X amount of filament, and it's just not going to compete with some of the terracotta caves, clay caves that people can make in half the time, way less than half the time for less money, and, you know, do the same thing. Could those greenhouse panels be used as tank dividers? They can. You want to fill up the gaps with like sand or something like that though. That's the tricky part. Like you can silicon both ends, and I recommend doing that to use them as lids, just so that disgusting food doesn't get in there and get moldy and stuff. But obviously if you do that, they'll be air trapped in there and they'll float. So I guess you could keep it really tall and leave one section open, or you could fill it with water, but it might go a bit stagnant. So yes is the answer, I guess. But just a sheet of acrylic's probably easier. If you're having a great time, thank you. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Yes. Was there any comment? Yes. Oh, so I take it you're not coming up for the Brisbane Pet Expo in July? Nah, I'm not. It was fun. I don't know if it was necessarily sort of fly interstate fun, if that makes sense. You know, respect what they're doing, and I definitely recommend everyone support these things whether you can, otherwise they disappear. But for me, with, you know, the 3 kids, it's not really something that I can just leave for the weekend to go and hang out at an expo, as much as I'd like to do that. Like we haven't had a family holiday in a long time, so to take those resources and use it for something as selfish as that, nah, it's not something that I'm going to do. What else? How hard is it to use a 3D printer and the programs to go with it? Roozy, sorry mate. You are in luck, Roozy, because a 3D printer was just invented that actually you might find strange, but the 3D printing community is in uproar about. Well, some parts of the 3D community is in uproar about, because it is too easy to use. there's a sort of portion of people that think that 3D printers should be hard and you should, be an absolute wizard with circuitry and motherboards and soldering and all of that stuff to use them. But yeah, these two printers were just unleashed onto the market, and they're really cool. They use LiDAR to and AI to check your print and how successful it's going and all that. And it's called the Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon and the Bamboo Labs P1P. They're about $2,000 and $1,000 respectively, so not cheap, but they print super fast, super quality. It's about as close to like an inkjet printer if you're used to, printing out pages of paper. It's about as close to that as you can get. And I want one. I want two. The other cool thing is it comes with what's called an AMS, which is an automatic material system or something like that, which sits on the top and you can put 4 different colors, and it will even do multicolor prints for you, which is previously really, really hard to do. So, yeah. You have one? Oh, I'm so jealous, Rayman. Whenever you're sick of it, send it my way. Have I tried the new Easy Caves? I have indeed. Right down there. There's about 15 of them. They're pretty cool. My thing is, I just never look in there. Actually, Will Barker, who you might see occasionally in the chat, he wants to start a bristlenose empire, so I traded him some adult bristlenose, and yeah, to do that I had to get down there, and then I found that one of the females that I gave him was on a clutch of eggs. I was like, alright, give away 4 bristlenose, create 50. Nice, good deal. Taters, how are ya? Tater salad, g'day. Greetings from Denmark. How's Denmark today? Long time no see, thanks for tuning in. Jared Brown, how you going, mate? Ended up upgrading my water box 25 fresh to a 3-foot. Happy days, great job. Water box 25, you could do a really cool scape in there. See, now it depends how addicted you are. Did you set up the 3-foot as well as the 25, or did you pack up and sell the 25? Because otherwise, if it sits over in the corner, it can be a bit too addictive to, it can be over there like, hey, how you doing? You got some spare substrate over there? We could take some plant trimmings, put those in. I don't need much light. And then before you know it, you got yourself 2 tanks. 2K Aussie cash, yeah. 2,000 Australian dollary dues. Which is about a nickel. Nah, about 1,000 Americanos. Or I think actually because of shipping and all that stuff, you can probably get it for 800-900. Elias, how you going? I got some bristlenose that bred several times months ago. But they haven't bred since. Any ideas how to get them going again? Yeah, it's hard because it sounds like rinse and repeat, but to be honest, fish are fairly simple things, like big old water change the diet up perhaps, like if you've just been throwing in El Cheapo wafers, maybe get some rapashi, maybe get creative, paint some rapashi on a rock, or put in some piece of wood or something like that, maybe do a whole new rescape. Maybe they're not fond of the caves and stuff like that. It's pretty much the same sort of troubleshooting for most things. Oh yeah, big news as well. I heard that today, Craig, that Rapashi have not renewed their export agreement to Australia. So the Rapashi that is here is all that there is. I think, to be honest, Fuzzy Fox is probably the obvious one. They'd be loving that announcement, which I've tried before. I like it. I've got it in the freezer right now. But yeah, it does have a bit more bigger chunks in it, but it's still good. Hey, our Aquatic Universe, Mike B. What's going on, mate? Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well too. I was wondering about going to the Pet Expo, but I'm not sure yet. Yeah, it's like any of those expos and stuff that are in Melbourne, of course I'm gonna go. Next year, if the underwater Pet Expo was in Sydney and Melbourne, I don't know. I still don't know if I'd go to both. I'd probably still just go to Melbourne. Don't know. If like one of my heroes was going to the Sydney one only, even then I'd probably still skip Melbourne and go to Sydney. It's just really hard. As anyone will know if you've got kids and stuff, like it's just hard to get away. And it's not like anybody's telling me I can't, but it's just like you just feel bad, you know. You got stuff to do. And it's fun as well, like the kids play footy on the weekend and stuff, and I want to watch that. All of that sort of stuff. What's the next show in Melbourne? Well, probably Underwater Pet Expo, except I've heard that that's probably not going to happen either. So maybe next year's the pet show. I don't know. It's sad as Nat was worked hard with Rapashi in Australia. Yeah, she definitely had a... I mean, he? I get confused. Anyway, they definitely had a good little niche going with the Rapashi for sure. Do you have any aquarium plants that can survive in a little pond? Milfoil. What is that other one? Water wisteria. Any of those sort of long stem plants that will grow to... Oh, Vallisneria is great in ponds as well. Anything that's going to grow up and potentially out of the aquarium is always good fun. Rotala is a nice easy one. Yeah, that should get you started. Bristonos get zucchini, cucumber, lettuce, that sort of thing. Good one. Have you tried pumpkin? It's an unusual one that Bristonos actually love pumpkin. Good for vitamin C too, which if they're just fighting off any little sickness or any little infection, the vitamin C and some pumpkin might help. It's their loss, I'm sure. My pleco only likes cucumber and that's it. It's funny how fish are like that. I liked the Underwater Pet Expo last year. Yeah. On face value, it all seemed to come together really nicely, but there was a lot of drama behind the scenes, I'm led to believe. Not from me. Of course. Of course. Yeah, so in case anyone wasn't here before, I want to do a couple of like top 10 videos, X fish for an X gallon and stuff like that. If you've got any particular avenues, raw pumpkin, yeah, or you can just slightly blanch it. Otherwise raw is fine. Yeah, like if you know, if you could, I probably wouldn't do this, but say like if you're like, oh, I'd like to know that your top 10 rainbow fish or top 10 Australian fish. That could be cool. Yeah, I was sure. I love it. To be honest, I'm absolutely in my element. I just talk the whole day. I love interacting with people, even though typically I'm quite shy normally. Like, yeah, usually I need quite a bit of liquid courage to be that outgoing, but at the Underwater Pet Expo, I just love it. Top 10 non-fish stores where you can get fish products. That's a good idea. It's a good idea, but it might be a bit too close to my video from Temu. Love the old... Yeah, Brandon, they always seem to rate pretty well, so why not keep them coming? I like doing them. They're fairly cruisy to do. X-Fish, X-Gallon options. Go a little further though. Do community tank fish mixes. Yeah, okay. I did do that. Like, a while ago, but I might do it for... Actually, that's a good idea, Jared. What I'll do is I'll do like combinations. Here we go. Yeah, I'll do like community tank combos for like a 10 gallon, 75 gallon, and 100 gallon or something like that. So it's like community tank combos for a small tank, a decent sized tank, and then like a big tank. What I would do. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm glad I reprised these live streams. Thanks for doing all my thinking for me. Yeah, it was awesome to meet you as well, Pete. You were just getting the aquascaping comp running perfectly. That's what it's all about, to be honest. Like, I know there's always complaints, like people always be like, oh, you can't buy enough stuff, or it didn't have this, or it was a bit of a trade show, or, you know, it wasn't catered to my particular set of circumstances, or there wasn't stuff for kids, there wasn't stuff for adults, there wasn't stuff for my grandma. But at the end of the day, like, the people that are going to buy the stalls, they're going to be wholesalers and shops wanting to sell you stuff, but it takes a lot of resources to bring a lot of stuff if you're going to sell it on site. So I can see why a lot of them say bring one of everything, show you this is what you can get down at Nature Aquarium, go there and check out everything else that's back there that we couldn't bring. I want to add calcium into my tank for my snails, but I'm wondering if it will affect my fish. No, it won't affect your fish. It'll raise your KH a little bit. Is that true? General hardness, carbonate hardness. It'll raise one of your GH or KH. I think KH, which will only make the water more stable. So it won't have a negative effect on your fish if you're adding pure calcium, which is difficult to do. But yeah, if you're just throwing a cuttlefish bone in the back, or if you're just putting in a wonder shell or whatever, it won't have a big impact unless you've got like wild caught bettas or apistos from like pH of 3 and then throwing that in raises that up to 6, you know. But if you just got a normal community tank, you'll be absolutely fine. Aqua snails aquariums. You could do a top 10 fish for the Kmart tanks. The 20 litre tanks seem super great. I've had that request before. Oh, I gotta write this down, because otherwise I'll forget. Okay, I can't write it down. I'll have to text it to myself. Sorry, this is antisocial, but top 10 Kmart tank. Oh, jeez, that's not gonna work. Great suggestione. Top 10 Kmart tank. I like it. And then community combos for X-Gals. Like it. I like it a lot. They would rate high, I reckon. I reckon they would. Yes, I think that's good. That's some good inspo. Thank you. Blake and Josh got to meet me at the Underwater Pet Expo. Very, very intimidating character, Craig. Especially when you told me that you've got an empty coffin in the back of your car with my name on it. Nah, Craig, you're a nice guy. Craig's like a big friendly giant. Got some mulches about a month ago and saw my first fry 2 days ago. Awesome. If you saw a fry, there's probably 9 others that you haven't seen as well. So congratulations. Sturge. Met toy poodle. Didn't have a single other dog to play with. See. Alright. I know the context around that. Let me try that again. Met toy poodle didn't have a single other dog to play with. Okay, cool. Oh, you brought it to the expo and there was no other dogs? Maybe. I was not bringing my dog. He's way too big and interested in stuff. So many were complaining about saltwater or lack thereof, but I thought it was great. I'm pro freshwater now any days. Yeah, I think that's an interesting topic, as Jared. Like, the saltwater people, they have reef stock, which reef stock sounds to be dead as well, maybe. But why don't we have like plant stock, you know? I don't know. Maybe there's not enough money in it. Maybe that's our problem. Because you can buy a booth for, what, you know, X $1,000 if you're selling one little zoanthid for $10,000, you know what I mean? But we can't exactly sell like, even like pink flamingo crypt or white Anubius. It's not like that expensive, really. Trade show thing was an issue. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. It would be kind of cool to do like a market sort of setup, like a bit more casual, and some of the clubs have tried it before. Like what is it? What, I can't think of any of the clubs. EDAS and Victorian ASV and EDAS, which is the Aquarium Society of Victoria and the Eastern District Aquarium Society. They have had swap meets and markets and auctions and that sort of stuff. But yeah, they're so I want to say poorly attended, like it's a dig at them, but like just dribs and drabs kind of go in, and it's not like hustling and bustling, like. So it's always a bit of a thing of like, oh, will I go next time? Maybe, maybe not. If I'm in the area, I might drop by, that sort of thing. That kind of thing could be cool, though. I thought the Underwater Pet Expo was worth the drive. Yeah, definitely. I think you were about on the limit of what would be drivable. You know what I mean? Like, anybody who lives any further than you, GV, which is it was about a 5-hour drive or something for you. That's pushing it for what I'd recommend. But you know, you can drive it, stay overnight, go for a nice breakfast or something like that. Maybe go to the zoo or, you know, the aquarium or whatever it is the next day. Make a weekend of it. I think absolutely fine. Ruzi, in the process of getting all the plumbing to set up, 400 litre planter tank with a sump, do you think ropefish or Bashirs will destroy the plants and hardscape? Nah, I kept Bashirs in planter tanks. They love it. No dramas whatsoever. Ropefish, I think you'll have more issues. Well, actually both. I think you'll have more issues with them getting into the sump or getting into the weir and that sort of stuff. So that will probably be your biggest issue. Closing up all the gaps without hindering the sump's ability to drain and fill. Aqualicious Hobby. How you going? Hey Blake, do the tanks behind you at the bottom have an automatic water change system, or is it to fill up the tanks faster? Yeah, that's a good one. I haven't really spoken about it before. I guess I talked about it in the members ones. On all of my tanks now, maybe I should do a video on that actually. On all the tanks now, I just ran some irrigation line, there's some taps, and there's some stainless steel mesh on the inside, and they're just drains basically. So it's under 100% of the time it is under siphon. So there's water all the way to there, water all the way to there, water all the way down to there with the tap. And to do that, you have to have the tap lower than the stainless steel bit, which is right there. Otherwise, if that's lower than that, the water will just fall out into the tank. But anyway, so it's under full siphon. The ones on that side of the fish room drain into the sink, which is in the corner past that door. These ones, I have a hose coiled up there on the edge of the desk. I just open the door, throw the hose out into the backyard, bang, 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 open all these things, and they just drain down to approximately halfway. And I can use it also to fill, but I just need to get more like clampy things so that it can handle the pressure, because at the moment they're just sort of friction fit in there, and if I put some pressurized water, I'm reckoning that it would leak or some might burst off. But really cheap. You don't need any skills whatsoever to do it. It was just one of those projects that I started to do it with a couple of tanks and ended up doing the whole fish room. And I like it now because I don't have to like move the lids out of the way to put the thing in and then take it out and then get water everywhere. And it just makes it a lot easier. Crushed coral, good for calcium. Yep. Yeah. And other minerals too. I have too many tiny snails. You can have mine. Thanks. Have you ever thought of getting a loach? That'll clean those up for you. Love your build a tank on a budget ideas. So do something with building a tank setup for like under 50, under 100. That's a good idea. I like that. Tank on a budget. Let's call it that. Tank on a budget. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And at the end, we can go Mr. Beast style and make like a $10,000 rimless full high-tech setup. I don't want you to, Craig. Good morning, fish freaks and geeks. Hey, Funky Fresh, what's going on? I want to go back to bed. Anyone want to take my place at work today? Well, I haven't worked since February, so I don't think I'm conditioned. There's some good Facebook groups with plant auctions and stuff. I reckon the freshwater guys aren't as outgoing as the salt people, I've noticed. But I feel there is a lot more freshwater people around. That I agree with. Even down here, there's a group called Geelong Reefers. There's only like 15, I think, in the group, and I'm in the group for some reason. But, you know, they catch up for barbecues and stuff and go around and check out each other's tanks and stuff. And you just never see that in our hobby, hey? Yeah, it's really interesting. Looking at your room, all those fish tanks look interesting. I love small planter tanks. Yeah, me too. Me too. They're obviously a little bit more fiddly to play with, but thing is like if you want to breed small fish, then you need lots of small tanks, hey? Gotta run? No worries, Pete. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your evening. Bashir, love planter tanks. They seem to be way more active. Agree. And the bigger the tank, the more active they'll be as well. So grateful for a stream. Thanks. I'm glad to be back. My fish tank's Aquatics. Hello, fishy folks. Hello to you. How do you feel about matte and filters? I feel good about them. They're neat and tidy. They obviously last forever. Cleaning them is a bit of an issue. Here is where I would recommend sponge versus matte and filter. If you're the type of person to like set up a tank and within 12 months you've packed up that tank or you've fully reset it, then I think do a matte and filter, because by that time you can just take it out, hose it off, and it's not going to be a big deal. If you're the kind of person to set up a tank and leave it for 100 years until the fish in there have evolved legs and, you know, become a totally different species entirely, matte and filters are not the ones for you, because you'll never clean them, which I don't actually think is a big deal anyway, but yeah, I think that's the thing. Whereas with sponge filters, I like to just have 2 sponge filters, and then every now and then I take one of the sponge filters, wash it under the tap, swap it back in, maybe 2-3 weeks later, do it with the other one, and that's kind of how I do it. I'll shoot you an invoice for all my ideas. Yeah, that's only fair. And I'll promptly not pay said invoice. As I try to do with all of my invoices. Nah, I'm up to date with everything, I think. The overflow that I'll be installing is a Synergy Reef V2 Shadow Overflow. It's the same one Sam Parker from Parks Reef is using on his main reef tank. Cool. I don't know what it looks like though. I could look it up. My computer might catch on fire though. Dominic, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Hope things are well. Yeah, so that's the story. That's the plans. Yeah, I've been printing a lot on Etsy, selling that stuff. Go back to work in 3 weeks. That's good. Have my birthday. Yeah, the video of feeding all the tanks seems to be going okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, might have run out of stuff to do. The coffee cup scape, I might do that next week. I just wasn't fully prepared, and since I got that stuff from Temu and I've already filmed that, I had it all over the desk, so I wasn't sure that I could set everything up to scape out the coffee cup. But we might do that next week. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Unless people have questions, then I got nothing else to say.